Lately, every time we browse online or scroll through social media, everything is about AI. Artificial intelligence is everywhere. We have AI that can write emails, AI that can generate images, and now we have a movie that asks, what if AI was the judge, the jury, and the executioner? In today's video, I want to talk about the movie Mercy. It's currently still showing in cinemas. On paper, this movie sounds incredible. We have Chris Pratt, the guy who saved the galaxy, and Rebecca Ferguson, who's been on fire lately after Dune and Silo. It's directed by Timur Bekmambetov, the guy who gave us Wanted and basically pioneered the screen life genre. But when I walked out of the cinema, I felt empty. Completely empty. Like I just ate a huge meal, but I'm still hungry. Thinking about it again, I feel like this movie is a massive missed opportunity. It's not just boring, it's dull and way too convenient. It tries to be Minority Report for the ChatGPT and TikTok generation, but ends up being something far more lifeless. So here's the basic premise. We're in Los Angeles, year 2029. Crime rates are skyrocketing, and the government decides, hey, human judges are too slow and too biased, let's use AI. And thus, Mercy Capital Court is born. The system is simple, but terrifying. If you're accused of a serious crime, you're strapped to a chair and given exactly 90 minutes to prove your innocence. If your guilt threshold doesn't drop below 92% within that time, you're executed on the spot. Chris Pratt plays Detective Chris Raven. He's not just any detective, he's a strong supporter of this AI-driven system. But one day, he wakes up accused of murdering his own wife. Now he's the one strapped to the chair. As a premise, it sounds intense, right? A race against time, high stakes. But the execution, man, it's a struggle. For most of those 90 minutes, we're just watching Chris Pratt sit in a chair, stare at screens, and argue with the AI judge named Maddox, voiced by Rebecca Ferguson. Instead of an action thriller, what we get feels like a Zoom call from hell. Critics have already started calling the movie tedious. One review described it as constricting and airless, and I agree. When you cast someone like Chris Pratt, who we all know can handle physical stunts and has natural charisma and motion, and then you strap him to a chair for almost the entire movie, that's not creative, that's a waste of talent. We want to see him do something, not just look sad at a screen. One of the biggest problems that makes this movie feel boring is how easily everything gets resolved. In a good mystery, we want to see the protagonist earn the truth. We want to see struggle, tension, obstacles, but in Mercy, everything is just handed over. Because the AI has access to everything, every Ring camera, every private message, every bank record, the investigation feels like a Google search. Chris Pratt says, Maddox, show me footage from that restaurant, or Maddox, check my friend's bank statements, and boom, new evidence appears. When everything is that convenient, tension disappears. There's no real sense of danger because we know the AI can retrieve whatever evidence the script needs at any time. Plot holes? Everywhere. There are forensic moments that feel completely illogical, but the movie expects us to shut our brains off and just go along with it. A lot of people online are saying the mystery is basically solved by the AI, not the character. And that's exactly how it feels. As the audience, we feel sidelined. We're not solving the crime alongside Chris Raven, we're just watching someone else play a video game with an infinite cheat code. Now let's talk about Chris Pratt. Usually, people like him because he's the everyman who can fire a gun and crack a joke. In Mercy, he tries to go serious. He wants to show he can handle heavier drama. But the script doesn't give him room to breathe. Whenever there's important backstory, like his relationship with his wife or his personal trauma, the movie doesn't show it properly. Instead, it gives us quick montages or projections on a screen. There's a fundamental rule in filmmaking: show, don't tell. But Mercy goes with tell and show a blurry clip of it. We never really feel the connection between Chris and his wife because all we see are 5-second AI-generated highlight reels of them laughing. If the film had used proper scenes, real moments, real emotional exchanges, it might have had a soul. But because it insists on maintaining the 90-minute real-time gimmick, it sacrifices emotional depth. The result? We see Chris Pratt cry, but we don't feel sad. We don't know his wife. She's just the victim. That's it. And here's what disappoints me the most. We're living in an era where AI is a deeply nuanced topic. We worry about bias, we worry about automation, we worry about losing the human touch. Mercy had the opportunity to dive deep into the question, is AI actually better than us? But the movie doesn't dare to answer or even properly ask the right questions. At first, it seems pro-AI. It shows how efficient the system is. Then it flips into anti-AI territory with a twist that reveals the system can be manipulated. But at the same time, Chris Pratt's character says something like, human or AI, we all make mistakes. Wait, what? You give a powerful machine the authority to execute someone within 90 minutes without a proper trial, and when it fails, you shrug and say, we all make mistakes? That's not philosophy, that's laziness. The movie doesn't truly explore AI morality. It just uses AI as flashy, futuristic tech. It wants to look intelligent, but it doesn't actually know what it wants to say. Is AI bad, or are humans bad at using AI? The film tries to take the middle ground, but ends up in a gray area that's just bland. Director Timur Bekmambetov is known for the screen lifestyle, like in Searching or Unfriended, where everything unfolds on computer screens. In Mercy, he applies the same technique but with a bigger budget. Here's the issue. The screen life format works well for indie horror or low-budget thrillers because it feels intimate and raw. But when you apply it to a big-budget sci-fi thriller and still force the audience to stare at screens within screens for 2 hours, it becomes exhausting. Our eyes get tired from scrolling data, grainy CCTV footage, and constantly shifting video feeds. Instead of focusing on performances, we're distracted by visual clutter. There's so much happening on the screen that we don't even know where to look. And that's the irony. The movie is about advanced technology, but its filmmaking style makes that technology feel distracting instead of enhancing. It feels like watching a PowerPoint presentation with way too many animations. Interestingly, if you check Rotten Tomatoes, there's a massive gap between the critics' score and the general audience score. Critics rate it low, around 24%, while the audience score is much higher, around 81%. Why? Reading regular audience feedback, many people say, hey, it's just a fun B movie, don't take it too seriously. They like the fast pacing and the 90 minutes go by quickly. And I get it. If you just want to turn off your brain and enjoy some sci-fi nonsense, Mercy is fine. But for me and for many others who expected something more meaningful from A-list actors like Pratt and Ferguson, just fine isn't enough. It's 2026. We've seen Ex Machina. We've seen Black Mirror. We know sci-fi can do better. When a movie refuses to take risks, when it chooses a safe and convenient, happy ending just to satisfy the masses, it underestimates its audience's intelligence. The twist feels like it drops from the sky instead of being carefully built throughout the story. So what can we learn from Mercy? To me, this movie is a reminder that technology, whether it's AI in the story or CGI and digital techniques in filmmaking, can never replace the human heart. We're bored because we don't feel empathy for Chris Raven. He feels dull because he's never allowed to act beyond reacting to a digital interface. The plot feels convenient because the script is more interested in flashy tech than solid logic. Mercy isn't the worst movie ever made, but it's one of the most disappointing this year because it had everything it needed to be a masterpiece. It had the budget, the talented cast, and one of the hottest topics of our time. And yet, it chose to play it safe. It chose to be a popcorn flick you'll forget in 2 days. In a world where an AI judge delivers mercy, the movie itself shows no mercy to the audience's intelligence. It's dull, it's convenient, and honestly, it's just a waste of time. Alright, that's all for now. See you in the next video. Ciao.